Firstly, I will look at the film The Birds, made in 1963 by Alfred Hitchcock. The opening title begins with masses of birds screeching and flapping. This shows how many birds there are and that they could be dangerous, as the sounds they are making are quite horrific. This begins to build suspense, showing it's a thriller film. A long shot is then used, which shows the mise-en-scene and where much of the film is going to take place. The main character is then focused on constantly, as the background is mainly blurred out. Then a low camera angle is used to show the swarm of birds. High key lighting is also used during this camera angle, making the sky appear bright, and the birds are black crows, which gives connotations of omens and darkness, already building suspense as they are a juxtaposition to the lighting. A small bit of tension building music is also played. The film I will compare to The Birds is called Anaconda. Both films use animal noises to build up suspense. Anaconda uses tiger roars and monkey noises, whereas The Bird use birds. Both films also use low camera angles to show parts of the setting, and Anaconda uses this to show how scared some birds are, whereas The Birds uses this kind of angle to show how powerful the birds are, as there's so many of them. Both also concentrate on the characters as they blur out part of the setting, and they use extreme close-up. Although both use tension music, Anaconda uses this more frequently as they have slow-paced music, which is parallel to what is going on within that part of the opening scene where he's stalking the tiger. And they also use fast-paced music, which is parallel as the man is running away from the anaconda. Next is the film Psycho, made in 1960 by Alfred Hitchcock. He also uses fast-paced tension-building music in Psycho in the opening titles to show that this is a thriller film. He also uses long shot to show the setting as it is of the city. Whilst he's doing this, he zooms in on a window, focusing on that room to show that that is where the story begins. And as he is zooming, he uses low-key lighting to build suspense and show that something sinister might be going on. He also uses black and white photography throughout the film, which again shows the film is quite dark and sinister and quite scary. The film I will compare to the Psycho is called Transporter. Both Transporter and Psycho use tension-building music and low-key lighting in the beginning to show that the film is going to be quite dark and sinister and is obviously a connotation of a thriller film. They both also use long shots and high camera angles of the city to show where the film is going to be set. The Transporter uses more techniques. They use lots of iconography, such as black leather gloves, which show that the man is quite criminal because these are normally associated with thrillers and crime. They also use the sound of a car engine, which is also iconography of a thriller film, as it's quite common to have car chases. They also use a low camera angle to show the time. The use of the clock and the time also helps to build suspense, as it shows the man is running out of time or has to be on schedule, or else something bad could happen. They also use more tension-building music throughout the whole of the opening sequence, whereas in Psycho it's only used for part. They also use police sirens and gunshots, iconography of guns, as it shows that the film is going to be dangerous, and watches bleeping to build up suspense. From looking at films of different decades, I have realised that thriller films generally use the same sort of technique to show that it's a thriller film. And from looking at lighting and sound, they all tend to use low-key lighting to show it's quite dark and sinister, and they also use tension-building music and quite scary sounds.